The Vatican and Vatican City is one of the most beautiful places on this planet Earth. The architecture is stunning. Now, it's been home to many different popes over the centuries. Vatican City itself is one of the smallest country in the whole world. It also holds the highest crime rate, funnily enough. But what else does the Vatican hold? We know that the Vatican holds an archive which is notoriously difficult to view. Only their most trusted scholars are allowed to visit, and these scholars must be over the age of 75. Now, what secrets does this Vatican archive hold? Now, the chronovisor is not so much a time machine, but a time viewing device. It was allegedly created by Father Pellegrino Anetti with a team of scientists, a couple of which included a former Nobel Prize winner, Enrico Fermi, and a former NASA scientist, engineer, Werner von Braun. Now, allegedly, this device can view historical events as they happened. It uses cathode rays and antennae and apparently special metals that not many people know about to pick up sound and light signals. Now, this sounds as incredible as it sounds. Apparently, this thing can also take photographs. Now, these are a few of the photos that allegedly this thing has taken. Now, if this thing is real and these photos are genuine, these are some of the most incredible photos I think I've ever seen. Some of the historical events that this thing has witnessed is apparently the crucifixion of Jesus Christ himself, the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, the writing of the Ten Commandments. Also things like Cicero, who was a great Roman senator. He was apparently incredible at making speeches. Some of his speeches were witnessed. Also, some of Napoleon's life was documented and viewed through this machine. Now, all these claims are absolutely incredible. Now, this thing is obviously, it's never been proven to be genuine. The amount of people allowed in these Vatican archives, obviously they are not allowed to tell everyone what is in this thing. But, you know, as I say, this thing has never been proven. But at the same time, it has never been disproven. See, I think that if this thing is genuine, being in the Vatican archives is probably the best place for it. This thing could be used as a very powerful tool, even a weapon as such, to sort of, we know what people are like, greedy people, things like this, people viewing historical events to gain sort of the upper hand in finances and things like this. It could be used for all kinds of things. So I think if this thing is genuine, you know, that to be tucked away is probably the best place for it, although I would love to take a little peek myself. But what do you think? Do you think the chronovisor is true? I think these rumours have come from somewhere, so who knows? The Grand Grimoire, or the Red Dragon, or the Gospel of Satan, is a very old book that apparently holds incredible power to anyone who reads it. It is full of black magic, spells and rituals to summon demons and possibly the devil himself. Now, the dating of this book is quite hard to tell, but some reports say the earliest of editions of this book date back to 1521. Apparently it's based on the writings of King Solomon I. Now, the origins of this book are quite mysterious. apparently it was written by a man called Honorius of Thebes, and apparently he had help from the devil himself to write this book. Now, this is a real book. It has been confirmed that it is in the Vatican archives. It's so real, in fact, that you could buy a copy of it yourself, although I don't think it's going to be exactly the same as the very original, genuine copy, more of a watered down version. I don't quite think the Vatican will allow the general public to try and summon the devil himself. So what we're probably looking at in these books we can buy is more of a watered down version, probably a few chapters missing. But I think this is a great one. I'm actually generally quite interested to read this book myself. Now, apparently this one has been confirmed as true. The Vatican Archives does hold the largest collection in the world of adult material. I'm really not quite sure why. I can only really think of one thing: horny popes. In 1917, 3 children from Portugal, all of them shepherds, Lucia Santos and her 2 cousins, Jacinda and Francisco Marto, were visited by an apparition. Now, this apparition was the Virgin Mary. Now, this apparition later became known as Our Lady Fatima. Now, Lucia claims that the 3 of them were visited 6 times by this apparition, and over the course of these 6 visitations they were given 3 secrets. Now, the first 2 secrets were revealed in 1941. The first secret was a vision of hell. Now, they could see the souls of sinners in a sea of flames surrounded by demons. The second vision was a vision of the end of the First World War, but the beginning of a greater war, which has now been interpreted as the Second World War. Now, when asked by a bishop what the third secret was, Lucia apparently told the bishop that she has not been convinced that God has given her the authority to act. But the bishop persisted, and in 1943 he ordered Lucia to write down the secret. Now, she did write this secret down, and then it was put in a sealed envelope, which she said was not to be opened until 1960, when it will become clearer. Now, this has been officially released. It was released by Pope John Paul II in the year 2000. But many people believe that what was told that day isn't quite the full secret that was revealed. Some of it is still being held back. Now, this vision, this secret, has said that a pope dressed in white clothes is walking through a desolated city that's been destroyed by war. Now, apparently, at the end of this vision, this pope is shot down by a group of soldiers. Now, this is another one of the true things that is held in the Vatican archives itself. It's been passed down to different popes since 1960. They've each read the letter inside the envelope and then resealed it, and then obviously told in the year 2000. I'm one of these people who believes that this secret hasn't fully been revealed. What was written on that bit of paper, I don't think has been truly told to the public. I think there's more to this secret than what is being told. What do you guys think is the true meaning of this? It's been interpreted in different ways. I'd love to know your thoughts of what you think that this third secret is trying to show us. Now, the Lucifer telescope is a ground-to-space, extremely high-powered telescope built in Mount Graham in Arizona in the US. Now, the theory is that the Vatican owns this telescope, had it built for a specific purpose. Now, why is it called the Lucifer Telescope? Well, the full name for this telescope is the Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera and Integral Field Unit for Extragalactic Research. Now, that's quite a mouthful. It's quite a long stretch that they have managed to find this an acronym for Lucifer out of all of these words put together. I think it's a bit of a far stretch myself, but these words could be placed intentionally. I do not know. Now, the telescope is made to observe the distant galaxies in an infrared spectrum. But some claim that the Vatican are using this telescope themselves to search space for signs of Jesus or signs of God himself. Some people have said that they are possibly searching the stars for sort of another celestial being for everybody to worship themselves. Now, I'm kind of on the fence of this one. There's no documented evidence that suggests that the Vatican do actually own and had this thing built, but again, there's nothing to say that they couldn't have hidden sort of any paperwork to suggest that they had this built. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think that the Vatican actually owns this and are searching for something in space, or do you think it's just another crazy conspiracy theory? Now, in the 1920s, a Russian professor, Genrikh Ludwig, had managed to gain access to the Vatican archives himself. Now, while he was there, he discovered 53 miles of shelving with documents dating back over 12 centuries of European history. Now, while he was there, he allegedly found documents claiming that aliens had influenced every single ancient civilization, from the Mayans to the Egyptians. They'd had a hand in every civilization. It is also claimed that he found documents claiming of nuclear weapons being used by ancient civilizations as well. One of the documents claimed that the walls of Babylon had been destroyed by a weapon that generated so much heat that it melted the walls of Babylon. Now, it is also claimed that he found alien artifacts within the archives itself. Now, if anyone was going to try and hide evidence of alien life, I think possibly a magnificent religious sort of place like the Vatican would try and hide these claims. I think it's a difficult one because I don't want to offend any Christians or Catholics. I mean, I personally believe in alien life. I think there is generally life out in the universe. I think it's kind of silly not to believe that there isn't. The universe is on such a colossal scale. It's so mind-boggling to comprehend the size of the universe, and we could be the only ones here. But I think it would be detrimental to not just Catholics and Christians. I think every religion on the planet, that it would be detrimental that there was alien life out there. So do you guys think that the Vatican could hold and keep this kind of thing a secret? Reverend Gabriel Amorth was the chief exorcist of the Vatican. He was there for over 25 years and had his very own office on the 3rd floor of the Vatican. Now, within the archives itself, there are over 70,000 documents containing cases of demonic possession. Now, Father Gabriel Amorth claimed that the devil himself had infiltrated the Vatican in 1981 and tried to attack Pope John Paul II. And it happened again in 2008 with Pope Benedict XVI. Now, Reverend Gabriel Amorth passed away in 2016. And what he must have left behind must be the most incredible mass of documents regarding demonic possession and the occult and things like that. It must be one of the most incredible reads to read through all these documents. Over 70,000 cases. Now, in the Vatican archives themselves, apparently there is a correspondence between St. Paul and the Emperor Nero regarding Jesus and his biological descendants. Now, in the Bible, there is not a great deal known about what Jesus did from his early life to sort of his mid-30s as a grown man. There's not a great deal of sort of what he did, where he went, who he met with. So it is very possible that he could have had his own family, and that the Vatican are trying to hide the bloodline, in effect, of Jesus himself. There could be living descendants to this very day. It is also claimed that this correspondence could say that Jesus did not exist, which is obviously something that the Vatican would want to hide very much from the public. Personally, I believe that I think he was a real person. But what do you guys think? Do you think there is, what side of the coin are you going for? Do you think he did truly exist and this is what this correspondence is saying, or was it going the other way and saying that he didn't exist? It could be that the Vatican holds no real secrets at all. Now, the Latin name for the Vatican archives is Archivium Secretum Vaticanum. Now, the Latin word secretum does not really translate in English to secret. It translates more to the word personal or private. So that's what it could be. It could just be the personal or private archives of the Vatican. There could be nothing of real sort of meaning to what is in the archives. It could just be documents of discussions between popes and sort of work they've had done and artists that they've met and asked to do work for them. It could mean nothing at all. But what do you guys think? Do you think there is secrets hidden within these archives, or is there nothing of great meaning there at all? Well, I'm going to wrap that video up for today. Thank you for joining me. Really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you are new here, it'd be great if you could subscribe. I upload weekly, sort of hit the notification bell to be updated on when I'm posting new videos. I've recently started doing some short videos as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the next one.